By the end of this episode today, we're going to answer this question. Is Santa's post office soaring to new heights? Or is it crashing into the ground? Hey everyone, welcome back to Fromania Bricks. And welcome to the hip hap happiest festive jolly Lego room on this side of the internet webs. And welcome back to the world's fanciest Lego recording studio.
In our house.
On the second floor.
In this room.
And in front of us today is the Lego Winter Village Santa's Post Office. Lego set 10339. And we are feeling festive today as we...
Yes, we're feeling great and festive.
You are not very festive. Someone did not get the festive notes.
I'm sorry.
What is this?
I never checked my email. I'm sorry.
Goodness, it's a good thing I have come prepared. By the end of this episode today, we're going to answer this question. Is Santa's post office soaring to new heights? Or is it crashing into the ground? Because we are going to rate this set with the Spuppler. That's right, Fromania Bricks super proprietary, ultra precise Lego review system versus Santa's post office. But before we can get into this, Caleb, I've got some important holiday questions to ask you today. Caleb, what do gingerbread men use when they break their legs?
Frosting?
Candy canes. Why is everyone so thirsty at the North Pole?
Why?
No well. What did the snowman say to the aggressive carrot?
What?
Hey man, get out of my face! What do you call an old snowman?
What?
Water. Alright, last one, Caleb. Last one.
All right.
Why did the little drummer boy put his drum to bed?
Why?
It was beat.
That's good.
Alright,
I don't think we're done yet. I think I've got a joke for you this time.
Oh no.
So, have you heard about the crazy winter blizzard?
I've not heard about the crazy winter
There were tons of, winter tornadoes and stuff.
Winter tornadoes?
It was hail, snow, it even started to rain deer.
Caleb for the win today. He swoops in and takes the win. The big question, though, is this Lego set going to win today? Lego Santa's Post Office retails for $99.99. It came with 5 figs. You've got 4 elves, you've got Santa Claus, you've got a fun little array of side builds, and you have a hot air balloon, which...
Oh, it comes off?
It comes off. Initially just made no sense to me whatsoever. So we're here today to Spuppler this set. We're going to take a look at the minifigures, the playability and experience, the overall value, the aesthetic, and the build experience. And we're going to see how this Lego set stacks up against Spuppler. Now I have to say, Winter Village is one of my favorite Lego themes. I look forward to Winter Village every year and seeing what is going to come out. We have every single Winter Village set that's released, with the exception of the toy shop. Because you had an old toy shop and then a new one released. We have the old original toy shop. We did not get the second remake. But Winter Village is one of my favorite themes. And every year, we build out our entire Winter Village collection again. Which means every January, we break apart our entire Winter Village. But we're not talking about that. We'll talk about that later. So I always get so excited about Winter Village. Yet, when I heard the rumor that this year's Winter Village was going to be a hot air balloon, my emotions became much less festive. My spirit began to feel a little bit like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree here, kind of saggy and droopy, because I just didn't get it. And here's the funny, weird thing about that, is I've only been in a hot air balloon one time in my life. And that one time was at Christmas. So you would think that a hot air balloon at Christmas would make sense,
Yep.
but I wasn't feeling it. It just wasn't my jam. But this is what we got. This is the set in front of us today. The Lego Winter Village Santa's Post Office hot air balloon. And we are ready to spuppler it with you. And I think you might be surprised at the end of this video of my overall opinion of it.
I'm gonna say something real quick. You said you don't like the hot air balloon?
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
That's all you needed.
We should, however, take our festive, jolly Christmas tree. Let's look out here, Johnny. Make some room, Johnny.
No.
Look out, Johnny.
You're breaking a $50 elephant. What are you doing?
This is great.
No, he's expensive.
Don't breathe. Don't breathe. It's up there. This is also a first on the Fromania Bricks channel. This is my first set that I've ever gotten to spuppler myself.
What?
I have yet to get to spuppler a set, and I am so excited to walk through, and I'm a little nervous too, because you and Micah spuppler with the best of them, and I've never been through this. So we're gonna jump in, extend a little grace to me as we spuppler Santa's Post Office. First off is the visual design. Overall, there were some things in the visual design of this that I'd not seen before. Mm-hmm. When you look at the roof design and the way that it's kind of this rounded, bubbly look, I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
The post office itself is really long, really narrow. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. But the way that it came together was really nice. The hot air balloon does put a little bit of a lopsided height to it.
That's good.
Makes it a little more difficult to display. And there were a lot of little side builds. And I get the need for side builds, but visually I would have liked to see some of these side builds actually...
Hold on. There's a white in it?
Yeah!
I was like, what's
Hey,
the thing?
playability and function!
That's epic!
Spoiler alert! I would have liked to see some of these little side builds actually attached to the build itself, but it would have made it a little longer, maybe in the front here. The colors were fine. I'm okay with the colors that were chosen. To me, it is not visually the most interesting Winter Village set. When I look at like Santa's Visit or the original Winter Village Cottage, some of these other buildings are a lot more interesting to me. Yeah. This one is not visually my favorite, but it's not terrible either. It's kind of going with this new aesthetic. It's kind of reminiscent of some of the other newer, thinner sets that came out. They're less deep, more thin, makes it easier to display from that standpoint. So visually, it's okay. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. What do you think when you see it?
So, I mean, I think it's great. Compared to the Winter Chalet that came out last year, this feels a little bit small. Like, I love that they're keeping the $100 price point on it. Like last year's with the Winter Chalet, it was way bigger and could have even had a $130 price tag, but they stayed with the 100. I wish that it would have been a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it does feel small, and it seems like you could have taken some of the side builds and incorporated them into the building instead, because you always have this side build that will remain independent. So some of the extra side builds could have been better used, making a bigger set. Again, it's not that it's ugly or not visually appealing. It's just that I feel like it could have been a little bit more visually appealing. Yeah. So when it comes to the visual set design on Santa's Post Office, I'm going to have to give it a 6.
Okay.
I'm kind of harsh.
Yeah.
I know, I'm kind of harsh, but I'm going to have to give it a 6.
Yeah.
All right. After the visual design, let's talk a little bit about the build experience. This set came with 2 books. Lego is very into this idea of build together, of getting to share the build with someone that you love. Maybe your child, maybe your spouse, maybe your other child, maybe your pet dog, whoever you want to share it with. I didn't share. I built the whole set myself. So I got a little small book that did some of the smaller builds, and then the big book did the post office and the hot air balloon. From a build experience standpoint, there's one thing that I hate building in all Winter Village sets. And by one thing, there's two things I hate building in all Winter Village sets. I hate building Christmas trees, and I hate building roofs. Here's what's crazy. On this set, I had so much fun building this Christmas tree, and building these roofs were an actual joy, because both were a totally different build experience than what you normally build on Winter Village trees.
Yeah, they're so much different.
And Winter Village roofs. So I actually loved building those things that I normally don't like building on this set. I was concerned about how the build of the hot air balloon would be, how sturdy it would be. We'll talk a little bit about that in playability, but it all came together actually really nicely. There was a couple of interesting techniques that I've not seen used a whole lot. There were a couple of more unique bricks that I don't see used a whole lot. There was a good mix of prints and stickers. I do wish it was all prints because I'm just not a huge sticker fan. But all of the letter pieces came with prints, and they were really neat prints, especially like the junk mail print. So overall, it was a pretty pleasing build experience.
Yeah. So this actually kind of reminds me of the Disney Plus series Santa Claus, the series. Some of the visual design of it, the coffee, the air, just some of the things in it. I love the prints on it. I think that they're amazing. I think that a few stickers isn't harmful in it, but it would have been better to not have stickers. So what are you going to bring it to?
I'm going to give it... I mean, it wasn't super complicated, but it was fun. And I think fun counts for something. So I'm going to give it an 8 on the build experience.
Good. Yeah, because sometimes it's fun just to have a relaxing build, watch Christmas movies.
Next up, minifigures. This set came with 5 minifigures. It came with 4 elves and 1 Santa Claus. The Santa Claus is pretty typical of all of your Santa minifigs. It is a dual molded leg to give him boots, a nice torso print on front and back, your traditional beard element, and a hat. So nothing too wild. Again, the elves are pretty typical of what you'd expect as well. They have some pretty fun face prints on them. You've got a pretty normal variety of print. Did the right figs come with this set? Of course, right? Like, it's Santa Claus's post office, and who's going to work at Santa's post office but the elves? So, I don't know what minifigs you would have done any different. That said, getting 4 elves is kind of not as exciting. So, I'm not blown away by the figs, but I also don't know what you would have done any differently. Like, maybe Mrs. Claus.
That's what I was thinking.
We do have her in Santa's workshop. Maybe like a reindeer who's like upset that they're using a hot air balloon instead of the sleigh. I don't know. I just feel like the minifigs are missing something. A snowman!
Yeah.
Would you like to build a snowman?
That's actually perfect because you would have to build a snowman.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I don't know. I just feel like something's lacking.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the elves are a great inclusion to army build them, per se. I mean, the more elves, the better. I mean, in some of the movies,
army.
Elf army. I think that we need to do that. I think that'd be cool. I mean, in the movies, like Christmas movies, going to that, there's thousands of elves probably.
You're not incorrect. Again, of course there should be elves, but I feel like one more fig that was something that was like, oh yeah! Maybe even a mailman that works here on his days off or something. I don't know. I just feel like a little more fig variety. Yeah, I'm not excited about the figs. I'm not upset with the figs. 6.5.
6.5?
6.5.
I love the inclusion of dual molded legs on Santa.
Yeah, the dual molded legs on Santa are cool. I don't know that all of the Santas have it. I'd have to pull them out and look. Newer ones. Too. I feel like I'm being really critical on my Spuppler.
You have been.
We're moving on to playability and functions. And Mr. Cole Hat over here let one of those slip. The hot air balloon has a really cool light up function because you've got to have the flame to make the hot air fly. So when you talk about playability and functions...
To make the hot air fly?
Yeah.
The hot air fly. Hot air fly? Yeah, we're going with it.
When you talk about playability and functions, this actually has better playability than most Winter Village sets. Yeah. Your hot air balloon is what brings mail to the post office. So all those letters written to Santa, they come here for processing. They filter out legit letters from boys and girls, and they filter out the junk mail. So your hot air balloon flies in and it lands here. Then there's a little tilt function that dumps the mail. So the mail then goes down the chute and comes out at the bottom. It will actually then go into this little hopper that exists here. And the hopper has a tilt mechanism in it. And that tilt mechanism is what then sorts out good mail from junk mail into your two little sort bins. So the creativity, the story behind the playability of this is actually really fun. I love that component of it. And I love that even at Santa's post office, they're still getting junk mail.
Yeah.
It's still showing up. The hot air balloon is really sturdy. You can hold it from the top and literally run no risk of it falling apart.
Head circulation. Blood circulation. No, he's gonna die. No!
It is super usable. You don't have to worry about it breaking. The roofs do come off, and it's a super solid roof build. Some of the Winter Village roofs are really like flimsy and delicate, and you feel like pulling them off and on, they're going to break and you have to rebuild them. These roofs come off and on really well. You also have another mail chute up here for sorting that drops into the sort room. Santa has an office in here. It is a super playable set. They even have a hot cocoa machine. There's a book that keeps log of how much good mail and junk mail. And then on the side builds, you've got one elf that goes fishing, and he found one of Santa's letter in the fishing hole here. Oh my word, minifigs, I forgot! It came with a baby seal.
Yes!
It came with a baby seal. 7.
Minifigs. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I gotta say something. We were being all negative. There's a snowman. There's a snowman.
Okay, so, wow. I'm going to have to bump minifigs up to 7.5.
Woo!
Because my two things that I critiqued, the baby seal and the snowman, they're on here. We have a unique fig animal, and we have a snowman.
Yep.
So I'm bumping it up to 7.5.
Let's go.
Amended for the record. Playability and functions, I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
8.5.
8.5.
8.5. This is a playable set. You can play with this set. 9.
9. I mean, I think that the playability functions on this
is 9.
Incredible.
Yeah, so we have amended minifigures. We've never amended a score before. I don't know the official process of this. We're gonna figure that out. But minifigs are now 7.5. Playability and functions, 9. A 9. We're landing at a 9. We are landing at a 9.
So I actually wanted to point out one cool thing that I noticed. There's this symbol right here on the hot air balloon. Now look at the front right here. It's a tie-in to the front. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yep. And I'm going to blow your mind here.
Oh,
you really want your mind blown?
I think I do.
So you've got this little trumpet symbol on the front. You've got the little trumpet symbol on the hot air balloon.
Yep.
Are you ready for this, Caleb?
I'm not ready.
Are you ready for this?
I'm not ready. No!
Santa's delivery truck, the elf delivery truck that also released at the same time, carries the same insignia as the post office, obviously, because it's a postal delivery truck, and it's got the same logo on it that's on the front, that's on here, so they're actually all designed to go together. The hot air balloon and the truck work in tandem together, and the truck even has a cool little workshop.
Yep. And another cool thing on the truck is the license plate is the number of the set. I love how they do that with
my mind is being blown today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Last up is value. Now, value is not only price per part. Value is also, was the set worth the price per part? Like, did you enjoy it to the level of the price? $99.99. Oh, so here's my deal. The building itself, if you look just at the building, you're like, it's not $100 set.
Absolutely.
But you also get the hot air balloon and all the side builds. But the side builds just don't add to the overall feel of the scale of the set. So to me, it doesn't necessarily feel like a $100 set. Now, I get you're getting a lot with this. I get that. But when I look at it, I'm like, the value just doesn't feel like it's there. On the flip side, they've kept it in check at $99 last year, and I think the year before was $99. At the time that all of the prices are going up on everything, to know that they kept Winter Village at $99, and I didn't have to go, oh, now I got to pay $120 or $140.
That's what I love.
I kind of like it, too. Like, I find that there is value there. And it's not tiny. Like, it is small.
Yeah.
I would say it feels smaller than last year's set, even with the side builds. But it also, like, they worked well with it. It looks nice. It's not a bad-looking set. So, overall value, I might need your help here. I'm thinking maybe an 8?
I was thinking 8, 7. I mean, when you compare these side builds to the other side builds, I mean, you had, like, an
outhouse, yeah.
And you had a full-on skate rink. Like,
You're right. You're right.
Comparatively,
the value is not there.
How many parts is it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Because it feels small. It's too. I feel like it would have been
7.
Cool. Yeah, if this truck came with it.
Yeah.
Like
if this truck were a part of it, it would have been a huge win from a value standpoint.
Yeah. Now I get, like, for sales and stuff, it's way more better just to have a singular truck that you can buy and then get this as well, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's going to have to land at a 7. All right. Well, we've run through our Spuppler scale here. We have our final numbers at play. And this set scored, after our amendments, which we don't even know if they're legal. They might be illegal amendments, but this set scored a whopping 37.5. 37.5. I know that's not the best Spuppler score out there, but I want to recap it with this. Let's go back to the beginning when I told you I was not excited about a hot air balloon set. In fact, even as I ripped the first bags open and dumped it on the table, I'm like, I can't believe this was this year's Winter Village. Of all the amazing options that are out there to create, this was it. Which I think a cool Winter Village set would be a church. A church with a nativity. I know it's not going to happen, but it would be really cool. But for it to be a post office, we already have a regular Winter Village post office. So for Santa's post office to come in, to have a hot air balloon, I was like, bleh.
What?
You know what? I'm happy. I actually really like the set. Spuppler score aside, it scored what it scored, which this is scientific. The numbers don't lie, and you need the numbers. But the opinion is, this set grew on me as I built it. It became a very endearing set, a very playful set, and a very fun set. And it's a set that, quite honestly, I'm excited to land in Winter Village.
Yep.
And I'm really excited about this truck driving into Winter Village
beep, beep.
as well. That said, there's probably going to be a lot more Christmas on the horizon for you all. In fact, I'm already strategizing how to do a bracket knockout competition with all of the Winter Village buildings to determine what the ultimate Winter Village Lego set is this December. Don't quote me on it, but it might or might not be coming. Whether it comes or not, we need you guys to go out there this Christmas season and do something. And it is the Christmas season. We need you to go out there, and we need you to give more. We need you to
do more.
We need you to share more, and we need you to
love more.
Because you really can make a difference in the world around you through how you do those things. There are a lot of sad and hurting people in our world, and I promise you, if you share that smile, it's going to spread. So go out there, give more, do more, share more, love more, And remember to always show your smile, because those smiles, they truly are contagious.
Give more, do more, share more.